I was like, I like this song. Yeah, I went to see my mom. My parents can only handle me for about 20 minutes, and I can only handle them for about 20, 25 minutes. We never spend more than 20 minutes together.
That's your limit.
Yeah, we have a
After that, it goes bad?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think I stayed 25 minutes. If I had left after 20, it would have been fine.
Look at you. And I could do at least 2 hours.
Well, you're better than I am. You always work. In every way.
I need my family. It's a pill.
Nah.
But I can take 2 hours.
It's all very lovey-dovey, and then something goes wrong.
Well, that's when it would go bad. 2 hours, and I said, gotta get out of here.
Like, what went wrong? We're sitting there talking. I was with Beth, and we're visiting my parents. And I said, maybe we could have like a really emotional moment.
Oh, you decided to try to interject something?
Yeah, it was kind of like, so funny.
Do something different?
No, like I went, you know what? Let's make a real connection here. So I said, Mom, I sent you a card for Mother's Day, but I see you haven't gotten it yet. She already had, like, Beth always sends her a card, and my sister sends her a card.
Uh-huh.
And I just said, what I said, I want to say to you, to your face, what I wrote in the card. I want to thank you for, like, always being home. You sacrificed a lot. Like, you put us ahead of yourself by, she didn't have a career in terms of going out into the workforce. There was always a nice meal for us. And I said, and every time I came home from school, you were there.
Yeah.
You were there for me. And I want to thank you for that. That was really sweet of you. And she looked at me and was like, oh God, all right. And then I looked at my father and I figured, well, I better say something to him. I said, Dad, I want to thank you. You always went to work and you supported the family and you came home every night and you made sure that we were provided for. And then he just kind of looked at me. And I thought, I'm waiting. Like, I'm kind of like, they're going to say something. Thank you for being a good son or...
Oh, dear.
And I'm waiting.
You really wanted this to go round robin, everybody say something?
I got to be honest, I had a little fantasy. So my father's sitting there thinking, and I'm thinking, gee, he was really moved by what I said, and my mother. And every year for Mother's Day or Father's Day, I would send my parents this big basket of fruit, because I know they like fruit, and maybe for my mom some chocolates with the fruit or something.
Sure.
And my mother had called me a couple of years ago and said,
listen, you're not going to be offended, I hope.
I go, what?
Don't send that fruit. We don't know what to do with it. We don't eat that fruit.
I said, okay.
And believe me, you're not doing me a favor with chocolate.
Oh, dear.
So I switched it to flowers.
Okay.
And the next year it was like,
hello, Howard.
And I knew something was wrong because I heard the quiver in the voice.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Howard.
What's wrong, Mom?
Listen, I hope you're not offended.
I'm not. How can I be offended? You haven't told me.
I haven't heard a thing yet.
Right.
Don't send us flowers.
Why?
There were bugs in the flowers.
I called some local florist.
I still don't believe there were bugs in the flowers.
She claims they were black.
Don't waste it. Please, don't waste your time.
So anyway, we're sitting there, and I'm going for this moment. Mom, you stayed home, and we're always there. And meanwhile, I only prayed she would get a job and get the fuck out of the house.
Right, so it wasn't quite true anyway.
Right, it wasn't quite true, but the sentiment was right. You know what I mean? I was just like, Jesus Christ. I remember high school, my mom did finally get a job. She was an inhalation therapist. She would clean the mucus out of people's lungs who would smoke too much their whole lives. And it was like, ugh, what a gross job, but she's out of the house. And I could come home from school and relax with some weed and some whiskey sours. You know what I mean? I was like Dean Martin.
Cocktails.
I was like Dean Martin. I'd come home and make a cocktail. I had to fucking calm down. So, anyway, we're sitting there on Wednesday night, and I go, Mom, you stayed home. Dad, you went out and provided. My father's looking at me, and he goes, Don't send that shit anymore. I go, what? In front of Beth and everything. I go,
he said that?
Yeah. So he goes, Don't send that shit anymore. He sends me shit. He sends me that shit.
What are you sending?
you know, I guess he was thinking back to the flowers or
and
the fruit or the
or
chocolate.
something.
So I had, you know, I just went, Dad, listen to me. All right, you didn't like these gifts. You didn't like my gifts. I go, but the gracious thing to say is, gee, thank you for sending me a gift.
And I don't send it anymore.
Yeah. And, you know, there's a way to say, don't send shit anymore. Like, shit. My gift is shit. The fuck?
Well, you wanted a true sentiment.
Oh, I got it all right. And you know what? I looked at my watch. I had stayed 5 minutes over the 20-minute mark.
That's your problem.
Fucking idiot I am. It's my fault.
He couldn't contain it anymore.
Well, it definitely was an emotional moment. I left there. I said to Beth, all weekend, I was like, wow. I woke up, just what the first thing I thought about is all the shit I send. Fuck. Tortured.
You shouldn't try
What?
doing new things. You know
What?
your dad can't handle emotion.
What is he, Mr. Spock? It's like Spock and Frankenstein combined. So then all weekend I'm thinking my mom's going to call me and go, you know, that was terrible. You know, your father, he...
You got to apologize
No,
for
yeah,
it?
somebody would have said something. No peace and love. Peace and love, peace and love. Where's that? Hey, you know what? Let me take another quick break. I can catch up, and then we'll bring in King of All Blacks.
Right. I'm sorry that Mother's Day didn't work out all that well.
Shut yourself. Yeah, shut.
Shit. I go, dude. I said, I was trying to show appreciation for you. Okay.
I wanted to acknowledge you.
I want to acknowledge
Thank you.
I said, it's very insulting to call my gift shit. He was like, whatever.
So just don't send me that shit.
Don't send it, you won't get yelled at. Your love is shit.
Your sentiments are shit.
But like, I know so sad, the disconnect there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ, maybe we could have shared a few moments. I always try to share a moment or...
yeah, but you got to get into their world, not your moments. Their moments. I don't know what those moments are.
I work too fucking hard. I'm done working for everybody's moments. Somebody work for my goddamn moment.
I don't know where you'd find those moments, but that's the ones you got to get into.
Can I tell you, Robin? I'm done searching. This is not a mystery search.
Once because
it feels like a scavenger hunt.
Oh, I don't know how you look for cards when you're looking now that you're sending cards, because that's another ordeal. Look at what they say in these cards.
Way too flowery. I look for just like Happy Mother's Day.
Right. It's got to say very little. But one year, I read a card in the store. Yeah. And I said, these aren't my feelings, but my mother would love this card.
Oh, yeah.
And I sent it to her. And that's when I got the call back. What an amazing card.
Say, I didn't write it.
No. Yeah. It was like, it's not my feelings, but I know she'll like it. And I sent it to her.
You know that card you sent me? You ruined my day.
What are you doing? Filling my house with this shit.
I found myself jealous of those kids who were chained to their beds by their parents. Because at least that was love in a weird way. I don't want you to leave me. Stay chained to this bed.
I don't want you to grow. They stunted their growth.
You're getting too big. Man. Hey, Marianne, you got a ton of email.